Let's get right into it. Okay, so first of all, why and what are taxes? Taxes are essentially just any type of additional price the government puts on a good or product. And the reason they do this is for public services, helping with military, anything the government needs money to do stuff essentially, or they want to regulate the economy, which we'll get into. And who benefits? Well, that depends on the supply curve and the demand curve and their elasticity. If the supply curve is more inelastic, then producers bear most of the effects. We'll get into it. If demand curve is inelastic, then consumers will bear most of the tax effects. We'll get into it. And in certain situations, if the government taxes too much on elastic demand curves on both sides, then they can shoot themselves in the foot and will actually harm themselves. Okay, and here taxes meet supply and demand. So we can see in graph one, originally the price is $6, but there's a tax of $2, which creates this wedge. You can see with the dotted black line. And essentially, we see that the consumer pays an extra dollar because of this tax, and the producer loses a dollar because of this extra tax. This is because they're equally elastic and there's no big discrepancy. And using this, we can go into graph two, and we can see this rectangle, which is the tax revenue, and we can see this triangle. This triangle is one of the main focuses of today, and it's a deadweight loss area. So what this means is because of the tax, these people right here that you can see right here, they're not buying anymore. And with this information, we can actually calculate based on the graph what the total revenue is, base times height for the tax revenue, which is $2 tax is the height, and the base is the quantity, which is 3, and then you get the total tax revenue. And then you get the deadweight loss calculation, which essentially all you do is you take the area of two triangles because they're going to be split in half, and then you add them together. But it gets more complex, so let's get right into it. Okay, and here we see implementing taxes the right way versus implementing them the wrong way. So this first graph here, as you can see, it's the same thing we were looking at earlier, but now the tax has increased. But because they are both elastic lines, demand is elastic, supply is elastic, people are really gonna stop buying really fast. Then you're gonna see that the dead weight will actually outweigh the tax revenue. See, with an elastic demand, people are gonna buy anyway. So as we can see here, that you can kind of increase taxes more and still get away with it. Alcohol in Canada being taxed 20 to 31%. It's crazy, but to most people, there's alcoholics, mental health, parties. People are gonna buy it anyway. And Canada won't like that because they don't want people drunk all the time. So they're going to make it pricey. So it's a little bit less of a common occurrence, I guess. But the demand doesn't shift altogether that much. People are going to buy it anyway. That's the point. Compared to if you put a 20 to 31% tax on orange juice is going to stop being bought. Unless you were a super fan of orange juice, you're going to switch to cranberry juice or apple juice. My sources, thank you for listening.